Where am I?
You're at Retro Rewind Pod, Paul. That's where you're at.
Hello.
Hello. Let me set this. Oh, I forgot to set the game beforehand. Oh, well. Oh, Retro's playing Alien Isolation again? Interesting.
Yeah.
Talk shows and podcasts. Hopefully that works.
My name is Austin Powers.
Yes, good.
Austin Danger Powers. Danger's my middle name.
Is this going to be just all night?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Baby.
I see. Yeah,
Okay.
it's smashing. You get. Let me talk.
I salute you.
I salute you. I don't remember that
You don't
part.
understand. Yeah.
Are some of these from the other movies?
Maybe. I some of them are, but I think like the I Salute You probably was. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. This
But most
trailer
of them-
this TV spot we're gonna play has
Yeah.
things that are different. I'm like, wait, that's not in the movie.
Oh,
Like
it might be from the deleted scenes. Have you seen? Did you watch those?
No, I didn't. But the thing
Okay.
is, the interior of the plane is way different. Of his plane.
Is
it
it
doesn't have the
white?
bed and stuff. No. It looks still like 60s, but it's just a different layout.
Or maybe it's a
odd.
different angle.
It could be that. You'll see.
Is it with Sherry O'Terry? Is it the stewardess?
Yes,
The flight
stewardess,
attendant?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's from a deleted scene. Yeah.
Got it. That makes sense. No Sorry Kid Adventure tomorrow, just so you know. And then, but that's okay. Not your fault, or is it? But then we'll be playing probably community games tomorrow night instead of sharing a new SNES Quest. Since we don't get to do that in the morning, so it might be Mario Kart 8, I think, or Splatoon, or something. I haven't really decided yet, but it's gonna be something. Should be fun regardless.
So have you played? Sorry, I haven't watched any Sad Arcade Adventures because I'm a terrible friend, and you got that on recording there. What was that? Somebody said, "Oh, this is on sale."
Oh yeah, Greek Legends of Azure.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
Brandon.
Are you playing that on Saturday, Kate?
That is what I'm playing, but not tomorrow because there's no Saturday Kid Adventures tomorrow.
Okay.
Squirrel, I have my kids in the morning, or tomorrow morning. I don't usually, so they're going to be not here.
I just saw the preview of
All
it.
right,
I watched the trailer for it. It looks like a fun game.
It's a beautiful game. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley. Yeah, it's so
incredibly beautiful.
yeah,
Is that what you
exactly.
talk to the game, and the game
But
says,
I've been putting
"Pudding. I love pudding."
Putting the replays up on YouTube. I have about, I think 3 of them up. May only be 2. I'm a bit behind, but so if you want to catch up 2x speed, go for it. But yes, it's very fun.
Thank you, Ashley. I hope the
And
podcast goes well as well.
Us too. And I'm still haven't been Lion King. Oh my gosh, I got to Scar.
Wow,
But-
that's impressive.
But then yes, this last Saturday, I kept hitting the reset button. Why is there a reset button on this game, Paul? Why?
You haven't. I thought by now you would have had some sort of like little tiny plastic dome that you could tape over the button
This
so
is
that
a
you
different.
don't hit
so
it.
It was it's a different button on the Xbox. I didn't know there still was one on the Xbox. The other one, yes, yeah, that's like right. It's on the XYAB. It's ridiculous. It's one of those. But
Baby.
Get it? Button smashing.
Yes, I
Anyway.
let's see. Squirrel says, I need to see what happens with Greek, but glad you get to spend time with the kids. Thank you, Squirrel. Yeah, I know. I want to find out what happens too, because we just crossed this bridge. We're in this fortress looking for the older brother.
What do you mean?
Well, if you
I haven't
watch the
watched-
replays, Paul, you'd know what I mean.
Yeah.
Paul, do you have a hard stop time?
I have to get up at 5 a.m., which is like normal for you, but I have but so no.
What do you have tomorrow?
I'm helping my dad with his photography thing on something that he's got going on. So.
Oh, cool. Welcome, Raiders. Geek Devotions with the raid. Hello. Since we haven't started yet, really, the podcast, and we're still waiting for our guests. and it's more than 3 people, you're welcome to request a Weird Al song that you would like me to do
Whoa.
karaoke for. I know that's not usual for podcast
since
time.
Seth Green is in this episode, how about a little
Why Nerdy?
yeah.
I could do Why Nerdy. But, I mean, it's Geek Devotion's call.
Sorry.
Raid, sing Fun Zone. You guys in your Fun Zone. I just haven't listened to that.
What is Fun Zone? I'm not familiar with
It's
that.
a Weird Al song that I'm
I have
not
to
aware
Google
of.
that.
They always request it. And I never. It's not on Running with Scissors. I know that much, so I don't really know it.
Is it it's off of the UHF album.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
you
I
say
have,
fat.
I just don't listen very often.
Well, since you streamed it, since you're the streamer, Leslie, I will go ahead and defer to you. So let me look up lyrics for fat.
That's what the PHAT.
I like the cake.
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
He never looks up Fun Zone. You know what, Baba? Whatever.
Right.
Calling me out, huh? Calling me out.
Yes.
Well, you don't need help, Paul.
Oh, behave.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Dum 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 dum. Boom 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 boom. Your butt is wide, well mine's too. Just watch your mouth, or I'll sit on you. The word is out, better treat me right. 'Cause I'm the king of cellulite.
A little bit faster, but okay.
Ham on ham on ham and whole wheat. What? Ham on ham. Ham on. Oh, ham on. Ham on. Ham on whole wheat. All right. My zippers. So you want it faster, Paul? Is that what you're saying?
A little bit, yeah.
My zippers bust, my buckles break. I'm too much man for you to take.
Wow.
The pavement cracks.
There's no in
and I fall
between.
down. I've got more chins than Chinatown. Well, I've never used a phone booth and I've never seen my toes. I'm going to the movies. I take up my 7 rows because I'm fat. I'm fat. Shimona's fat. You know I'm fat. You're fat. You know it fat. Really fat. You know I'm fat. I'm fat. Come on. You know I'm fat. You should be doing my backup, Paul. Come on. Like the fat, really fat. That part. You should do that.
No more. I can't take it anymore.
Oh. Yes. Yeah, I'll edit mode that. Neko, thanks for that. How are you doing, Neko? Geek Devotions, Bobo, D Tungsten, Cardinal, Lasty, Ashley, Squirrel, everyone who's here. How are you all doing? Welcome. Thank you for your patience as we wait for Nate and Chris, who will be joining us shortly.
Whoa, both stunning and brave?
Yes, the both of them.
Wow.
I'm curious, how else could we entertain the fine people?
Have we gone through the checklist?
Well, most of the checklist is for I guess. So,
okay. Usually that takes forever.
You know what? Well,
oh, what about the trivia where you ask me, and because like I'm a second behind, you get the answer?
All you have to do is say "Great trivia for Cisco," and I'm done with the trivia.
No. When you scroll to a page and read the question, and then I tried to answer it before you answer it, but you're like a second ahead or something because of the lag. This has been a while.
That happens during the trivia?
Not the trivia of the podcast. When you're killing time and just ask random trivia stuff.
Yeah.
Like 80s
Oh. So Bobo apparently has prepared some for us.
Well, where is he here?
Bobo is here, but he may be working or something. I don't know if he's able to.
Bobo, this is a good episode to be on.
Here, I'll play some harmonica for you guys.
Smashing baby.
Oh, it's a real harmonica.
Are you okay?
Wow. What now? What do you want? So I don't know if you're able to somehow join us while we wait to do your trivia. Since when I was running the trivia, Paul felt like it was too far behind. I'm very busy eating cookies.
Fair point.
Totally fair. That's legit. Shame is not on an ocarina. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have an ocarina. Neko. Kid Tungsten says the harmonica was loud. Oh, sorry. Here, I'll try better.
Oh, I couldn't tell him. Far away. Is that what the song you're doing? I don't know that song.
No, I had Mario at one point. No.
Like Cardinals gig.
What do you say? Have to San Francisco like your Dr. Evil filter?
Yeah, baby.
Wow. Coming deep right there. Oh my gosh. I don't have a scar. Let's see. Is Francisco preparing for when he becomes a hobo? Wow. Wow.
Why?
Wow. Yes,
What?
I am, in fact.
What? Why does he say that?
Because
you're
I'm
like,
playing a harmonica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like trying to I was taking essentially YouTube lessons a long time ago and just stopped. I'd like to get back into it though.
Right.
I enjoy harmonica. I'm glad you agree, Austin.
I can't take it anymore.
You know what? You're gonna take it, whatever. Wow, Colonel Savage, right? It was. Oh my gosh. Whatever. I have music.
Of not getting a choice in the matter.
Too bad you don't get choices sometimes.
Yes. Really, Tick? What's going on? Where am
gosh.
I?
I don't know. You're somewhere out there over the pale moonlight.
What's going on?
Stuff is happening. Yeah, slightly. I like blues-styled harmonica music. Yeah, totally. I don't think mine. I feel like you could play blues with most harmonicas, but mine is a major. I don't think there's any minor tones to it, and I feel like you might need one that is more minor for blues. But I could be wrong. I could just be like saying things out of my bottom.
So
Weird Al song on harmonica. Okay, let's see here.
If you could play the accordion, you can do a harmonica.
Wait a tick. What do you mean?
Let's see. How's White Nerdy go?
My butt is white.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I don't have a good idea in my head what the notes are when I blow in and out in the positions, other than a lower, higher. So I wouldn't be able to do it. You can, but really you need two level harmonicas. That makes sense. Geek Devotions. Let's see. So trivia. What could we do for trivia?
How long do you think that'll be?
I have no idea, Paul.
10 minutes from now.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Well, we could go over Austin Powers trivia.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could. What we need to do is to plan out next year. We can do that while we're waiting.
I guess we could. All right. Whatever. Look behind the curtains for y'all. Let's do that.
Oh, seriously?
Why not?
All right.
Here we go. You want to see how the sausage is made over here? Here you go.
That's
guys.
why everyone tuned in.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Oh,
all right.
goodness
2022,
gracious.
right?
Yes, 2022.
They're not waiting for, like they haven't clicked in, right?
No, I don't see them.
All right.
So let me get it up here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Next year, all Nicolas Cage movies. Wow.
So here's something that I don't know if you want to include. This year we've been doing the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles Adventures of. We talked about maybe doing
something like that. Yeah, but you said that there weren't, like, we couldn't space out the episodes right if we did that.
No, if we're to line up properly we could space it out. We have 50 episodes. No, 25 episodes are of the podcast and what, 11? How many?
See, that's what I thought. There's 13 episodes.
13 episodes. Okay.
So and
I think
in
it's
a
doable.
26 episode, yeah, it's I think so too.
So do you want to do the last one on the 10-year anniversary? Or before then? Episode.
Oh, right, because like of the movie? Oh no.
Oh, Serenity?
Serenity's at
old?
2005.
Yeah,
so
it's not old enough.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? No,
No,
not.
it's old enough. Yeah, Serenity's old enough to like. We could cap that off as a Christmas movie. Let me bring up the schedule so you guys are seeing what I'm saying.
Oh no, you're really gonna show him the sauce. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, Sure you didn't, Paul. Okay.
Cabbage.
Yeah, it is. Savage is right. Okay. Share just that tab.
I agree. The last one should be the movie. Well, I can't even.
Yeah, I would
read
think so too.
Oh, you're sharing with them. Okay.
Oh, you can't see?
No, I have it on my screen.
Oh, okay. Though I don't think they can see. I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I was
it.
about to say that's really small. But like if
Really
they can
small.
see me,
I'm not.
they
Hold
see
on,
me
guys.
type that.
I'm not sure why it's not showing.
It's really small.
Yeah, this Google Sheet. Share
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I won't do it that way, mister. We'll try it
Wait,
this
hey.
way.
Unless maybe the trivia would be more entertaining than this.
Maybe,
I
because
feel
apparently
sorry for the,
it doesn't want to show that my Google Sheets, and I'm not sure why. Like, there's some like I don't know if there's some filter on for sharing it. I don't know. So yeah, if you can do it, give us trivia, Bobo. Let's do that.
How do you like to do it? Do you like to wash up first? You know, top and shave a bar. Personally, before
Wow, you do see it? I couldn't see it. That's so weird.
you see what?
They
the
were
spreadsheet?
seeing. They were seeing the spreadsheet. It sounds like.
Yeah, I saw the
25,
spreadsheet, but it was just so small. I can't really see the typing of like.
You saw it even on the stream?
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw some black square.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, okay. We could see it. Okay, all right, guys, I got it.
Okay, if you could see it, would you rather see it or would you rather have trivia?
Okay,
Go
all right,
through
yeah.
Trivia.
Here, okay, so 1 in chat for trivia, a 2 for the spreadsheet. 1 for
Spreadsheet.
trivia and 2 for spreadsheet.
I got them all printed out on my bed
sheets.
sheets.
3 geek
Neither.
emotions.
Yeah, well, what's something better? People are wanting. This isn't
2.
something that you eat popcorn for.
So we have 1 for spreadsheet,
Are you not
2 for spreadsheet,
entertained?
3 for spreadsheet. All right, fine, guys.
Wait,
all right,
what
we'll do the
was
spreadsheet. Spreadsheets.
All
1 was
right.
trivia. 5. Oh
I
my
think
gosh,
these
you
are all
guys.
guesses for Edna Modes. Which is 4 and 5.
You're hilarious, Paul. All right, then never mind. We'll do that.
All right, let's do Edna's. What as he's getting that up. 6 Ednas. All right, says Geek Devotions. That guess would be much higher. Okay, so what? All right.
Oh well, now I'm seeing it. Weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Okay. All right, so we have January 14th. So we have a game, but we have to figure out Cobra Kai and New Karate Kid.
Oh, that's right.
So, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it the first.
No.
So
Did you want to switch the game on the 19th with the random rewinder? Random review? And then have it not be so random because it would be the next Karate Kid. So
I guess. Well, here, let's do this. Yeah, let's try doing that. So this will be a game. This will be a special. Not Firefly, but next.
the next Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Yeah.
And then Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai season 4?
Season 4, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Oh my gosh. Fighter Fly? No. Heard someone on the radio say Cobra Kai was terrible.
Well, they literally said it was slow and boring. Wow. That wasn't me.
Like they saw season 4 and thought it was so
just
boring?
the series.
Okay, well, I don't know what.
It is a little bit slow, and if you don't like the if you're not familiar with the characters or don't like them, I can see how it would be boring. So.
Oh, we have contact.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
Oh, it's both of you guys on one. I didn't realize you're gonna be in the same
They were there
spot.
and then they disappeared.
No, we're not. We're here.
We're still here.
They like pulled out last minute. They're like, nope.
No, we're. Oh my gosh, we're here, guys. Refresh your page.
Oh, I just heard them and now I can't. What the frick?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. I can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear him too.
Smashing baby.
Oh my gosh, Paul.
Okay. Testing. Test.
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Hear you. I'm typing
So
in
I
the
think
chat,
they can
private
hear
chat.
us.
Yes.
We cannot
Yeah.
hear them.
Oh,
That's
boo.
weird.
Yes.
They're kind of low, but they
Yeah,
can't hear me
but-
say that anyway.
Yeah.
Alright.
So no more spreadsheets for you guys. Sorry.
No.
Wah wah.
External headphones.
Maybe it's in the gears of the setting. You know, they have
Oh,
it
yeah.
on the wrong
Yeah.
gear. Go to your
Sure.
gear.
In the
Go back to your hole.
/setting audio output is set correctly. Yes, gear, exactly. Gears of war. Gears of podcasting.
Crikey.
What's funny is, I can see a sliver of Dr. Evil's eye between you and people.
Oh, that is weird. Right there. That's
It's like
creepy.
he's looking. Yeah.
You need to have something in the lower corners.
I can't. I mean, it's tough for me to find. If you can find a better Austin Powers GIF on Giphy that can be saved out as an MP4 because they have the MP4 option,
Oh, but not a
I'll
GIF.
take it. No, I can't do a GIF. Paul trash talks them and suddenly their audio works. That'd be hilarious. Geek Devotions.
Yeah, that'd be great.
By the way, did you guys, Geek Devotions, did you get to that point
Yeah.
in Animal Crossing New Horizons that did you
Where you can actually
do
get on the
kitchen or something?
teacups?
No, I thought they were like trying to make a kitchen or something.
Something in the both lower corners. I'm not seeing anything. Moly. Sorry, that's the third one.
Wow. I haven't seen the
Now I
third
hear
one.
them, and
Oh, good.
Oh,
You hear
cool.
why
us.
is it not letting me? Except,
Oh, what?
okay, it's not letting me record both of us at once. What the heck?
That's fine.
Oh. Yeah, you know what, guys? If you guys can't record, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Francisco can record.
Yeah, I'm gonna be recording. I have backup options, backup solutions. So if you guys can't get that to work,
I
let's not
figured
worry
out
about
what
it.
it was. Okay,
Oh, okay, perfect.
let me just do a quick test.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
I can hear them. Oh, you can't.
Well,
Back.
one down, one to go.
We just got some headphone splitters and
Oh, okay.
Best Buy let us down.
freaking Best Buy. Okay, but I might have a
Jeez,
solution
that
to
Best
that.
Buy.
Hold the
Okay,
phone.
cool.
Oh wait, I hear.
Oh,
Oh,
you
wait.
do?
You do hear?
I hear.
Yay!
Alright.
Though
Janky.
Nate's
on?
microphone doesn't sound like he's talking into a microphone. It sounds like your microphone is picking. Chris, your microphone is picking up him.
Oh,
Okay, hold on.
that's. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where's the front? Am I talking into the back
Let me
of
see.
it?
No, that should be the front.
Is that the front?
That should be the front.
Okay.
Um,
We'll work with the
What's
levels.
going on?
Oh my gosh, Paul.
let me see here. It might be. Let's see this.
We are one step closer, Ashley. It's
okay,
true.
I can turn him up. Can say something, Nate.
Test 1 2 1 2.
No, he's still in the
No,
background.
still the same.
Really?
No.
I think they're using an audio interface, Geek Devotions.
You have a soundboard.
Of course.
Yeah, he does. He's been wrecking me with it the whole time.
Oh, behave.
Oh my gosh.
Oof. All right, what do we got?
Right. Hello.
Oh my gosh. It's been perfect. Good job. No, Ashley.
Thank you.
D-Tungsten, there's an episode of DS9 where Nog says baseball is slow and boring. Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I do enjoy baseball when I'm either playing it or like in person, like I'm at the actual game. But on television, I don't get the appeal. Hey, Red Spear. What's this about? So this is covering the movie Austin Powers from 1997. We're trying to get our guests set up. They're working some audio kinks out. But once they get those figured out, we will get going.
Why do you have the 10-year anniversary on
It is
December?
Kinky baby.
Oh my
Yeah. Why do you have the 10-year anniversary episode on the 21st and not the 23rd for Black Friday, Francisco?
I'm not. What?
You have it in December, not November, like a month later.
Are you looking? I don't have the
I'm looking
new
at the
schedule.
spreadsheet.
Okay, I closed it.
All right,
because I
I'm
actually
gonna
had
fix
to
it.
Okay, please do. Thank you. So Geek Devotion says a lot of interfaces only export left audio when going to the internet. What? Why would they do that? So here would be a test. You guys could switch microphones in the interface. If you are using an interface, maybe I'm misremembering that, and see if we hear Nate instead of Chris.
Well, of course, because you can hear him.
Oh, no, you mean but if that's the issue, yeah. If that's the issue,
an interface. Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Well, that's good.
Oh, I heard something click on my.
Well,
ears.
yeah, that's Mike's going in and out.
Yeah.
Testing. This is me.
Okay.
Am I coming through my mic or through?
You're
all right.
something
Now
else.
let's test out mine.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine.
Okay, that's the problem. So Nate's coming in.
Wow,
we've
good
got
job,
ourselves
Geek
a
Devotion.
finicky
Thank you,
interface.
Geek Devotions.
So, are you able to hear Nate enough to like do the show? Because I can just record.
Well, I can't hear anything.
Well, now we can't hear either.
Right. Might help
All
if
right.
I was plugged in while I was talking.
Yes,
That'd be-
usually that does help.
Are you able to hear Nate enough?
Why don't you two
to do
just
the
share-
show, and then I can send you the audio later?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And
'Cause
as long as you're
I've
getting
got separate tracks, I can record us on.
okay. So let me hear Nate just a little bit.
Well, I mean, if I talk louder like this, maybe you guys will pick me up a little.
Yeah,
bit.
but then the recording won't be
Yeah.
good.
Oh
but
yeah,
don't
then
do
we
that
won't
the
have a
whole show.
backup necessarily. Like all the backups will be.
I would talk like this. This would be the normal voice that I would talk with. Volume. I don't know if anybody can hear me like that.
Barely.
I mean,
but
I can hear you. I can hear you. Let's see. Let me think. And so you can't in the interface there isn't like an option to make it go to mono or something so that it will do both essentially. I'm not an audio interface expert. Like apparently
I
Geek
might have
Devotion
an
is.
idea. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
How about I just hang up
All
and
right.
don't do this?
You're saying that's their idea? Fall.
Yeah.
All right. How about now?
Yes, you're good.
I hear you, Chris.
Are we
Oh,
testing the?
You fixed it.
Wow.
Yes. Good job,
Look at that.
Chris.
Look at that.
Nice.
Yes.
done.
Well, it
Well
was a
done.
team effort. You know, I like to thank myself.
Yeah.
Mainly, but
Yeah, and I like to sit here and hope that he fixes it.
yeah.
Right.
All right. So that works. Okay.
Awesome. Fantastic,
Y'all make
baby.
you
Yeah. Okay, so
Wow.
let me go through my
Settle down.
checklist here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long episode.
Yes, probably. All right. So, do you guys have a hard stop time?
Hard.
Do I make you hard, baby? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we should really talk about the use of euphemisms in this episode because we're gonna be very tempted to go off script, Francisco. So
If
I'm
it gets-
just letting you know.
If it
I
gets
just
too
don't
off
wanna
color,
Make Geek Devotions blush.
wow. If it gets too off color, I will edit it out in the final. I'm not going to be overly concerned about it for the
Why
live.
is it gotta be about color with you,
Well-
Francisco?
Oh my gosh.
In fact,
Francisco, you know me. My goal anytime I guest on your show is to maximize the amount of post-production
Of editing.
you have to do. So.
all right, get those Edna numbers up, people.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the do the laugh?
What?
Do the laugh.
Which laugh?
The Dr. Evil laugh. I can't do it.
I don't know. How does he do it?
Oh, that's
really
good.
That is good. 12 Ednas, 143 Ednas, Neko, get out of here. Okay, so any stop. Do you have a time you have to be done by, guys, tonight?
No.
I don't have a hard stop.
Okay. But not like all night, I assume. Did you get your
Right.
likes and
There
dislikes
is a
down
slight. Yes.
to okay, one like and a classic maker, one dislike, tragic maker?
Yeah.
Or okay, cool.
Yeah.
Paul did the mind meld. Do you guys have any spiritual speculation topics by any chance?
I've kind of thought of one.
Okay. I came up with one just tonight because it was really challenging. So okay.
Let's talk about the spiritual meaning of.
Hey, Rosie.
You're right, baby. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh, I need chapstick.
I think shagadelic word study would be. I think.
Yeah. What is the original Greek and
what is the
Aramaic
original Greek for
for
that?
that?
Jeez. Wow.
For shagadelic.
Okay, so I'm going to have us all start recording our own tracks. Thumbs up when you're ready to start that recording.
Okay.
All right. Start on mark. 5.
Why is it always Mark?
4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Test.
All right, now everyone clap on 3, all right?
On 3.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Nice, Nate.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going. Awesome. Get this up here. No, I don't want that. I want this one. Okay, cool. And now, don't have to do that. Don't have to do that. Good. Okay. So we have 2 possible intros. We want to get your guys. Oh no, we're just gonna go with yours, Paul, because power.
Okay.
Never mind. Yeah.
All right.
So we'll do yours.
Do you want to
Paul.
listen to it so you know when to come in first?
No, you did it. I know when to come in. You already
All
played
right.
it for me before.
Yeah. Because how long the echo is. Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let me get my soundboard up because it went to sleep. Hold on.
Do I make you sleepy, baby?
Yawn. Okay. I think I'm ready. Hopefully it's not Adam's Family again. Okay, so guys, chat, so glad you're all here. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. We're going to be referencing you here for like box offices and things like that. So Edna modes, I think we're ridiculously high, but all right, we'll see who wins. But I think
you have like 12 Bean Boozled for every.
Oh yeah, so we're doing that now. I forgot. So I'm going to foretell the final rating, guys, and if I'm wrong, then I have to have a Bean Boozled bean.
I think you should do like if it's disputed or not, or if it's a unanimous.
You want me to go that? Oh.
None of this. Oh, I said nostalgic, and it's not. If it was disputed, that's still the same.
And you should predict what each individual person's rating is.
Right.
And
I'm not doing all that, guys. Oh my gosh.
And if they change their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my word. Okay. So.
Audience consensus as well.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm gonna write down my prediction, guys. It's gonna be. So C is classic, N is nostalgic, T is tragic, D is disputed, U is unanimous. So here we go. So Chris, Nate, and Paul, please close your eyes so I can show everyone
I
watching
can't
at
swing
home.
the vote, or can I?
All right.
Are you trying? Okay. So everyone close their eyes. All right. Here is my guess, guys. Okay. I'm showing it on screen. You can
Lord,
see
we just
the
really
2.
lift this up to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Force of habit.
All right. You guys can open your eyes now.
What's going on?
Stuff is going on. That's what's going on right now, Paul. All right. Then I think we're going to go ahead and start. Thumbs up if you're ready to actually start the actual show.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Just a heads up.
Yes.
My son Hunter's having kind of an off night, so there's a slight chance I might have to disappear at some point.
Totally fine. Totally fine.
Francisco's the same way, and I'm the same way with Bentley.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Understandable.
Chris. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thumbs
So
up.
here we go. Thumbs up. Awesome. All right, Paul. I'll count
right.
you in. I'll point you when it's time. All right.
Is it time?
Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul, the Master Interrupter Powers.
Hello, Powers. Care to have a little fun? Care to have a little fun?
On this episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Reflux capacitor, fluxing, crew, distinctions, scanning for going to rewind in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, Rewinders and new listeners, to the Retro Rewind podcast, where we take a fresh look at movies and games that are 15 years or older. I'm your captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz, and I'm joined by your XO and mine, Paul, the Master Interrupter Powers, no relation to Austin Powers.
My name is Richie Cunningham.
Do you have a wife named Oprah?
Yeah.
Also for this discussion of the film Austin Powers, we welcome back aboard the pod's favorite entertainment officers, Chris Cowan and Nate Henderson.
Hey, it's groovy to be here.
Yeah, baby.
I'm not even going to attempt like an actual Austin Powers impression because I'm no good at it. So
that's totally fine. I appreciate the attempt, regardless.
Dry every time.
Go for it. Do it. But so glad you guys are back on the pod. And now that you have a quick flyby of who we are, Paul, can you give us a quick overview for the production specs for Austin Powers?
Sure. Austin Powers.
Pause. I'm going to redo that. I know. Edna Mode. I get it. I'm going to reintroduce you guys because I want to mention you're part of Saying Brave. So just a second.
So we have to do that all over again.
Yes, they have to say how Chris is going to say how he's going to do everything dry, no actual accent. Has to do everything repeated. No. All right. Also, for this discussion of the film Austin Powers, we welcome back aboard the pod's favorite entertainment officers, coming to us from the Stunning and Brave podcast, Chris Cowan and Nate Henderson. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, it's groovy to be here, baby.
Yeah, Nate here, groovy.
Oh, and that's
Nate
Nate.
Can actually do an Austin Powers impression.
Not really.
So I'm just going to do it super dry.
All right.
Like
Sounds good. Sounds good, guys. Glad you're here. And now that you have a quick flyby of who we are, Paul, can you give us a quick overview of the production specs for Austin Powers?
Sure. Austin Powers stole my last name on April 29th, 1997. The movie runs an hour and 29 minutes and is rated PG-13. It was directed by Jay Roach and written by Mike Myers. That's the serial killer guy, right?
Yeah,
Mike
exactly.
Okay.
On Halloween, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Lead stars being Mike Myers, Elizabeth Hurley, and Michael York. The music
Whoa. Why are you you're saying these names without any issue, Paul? You always have trouble with the names.
Sorry.
I'm English.
So I can pronounce it. The
music was composed by
George S. Clinton, not the president. Okay. And then, are you ready for the box office trivia game?
I am ready. Nate and Chris, are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
And everyone watching live, feel free to join us as well. Go ahead, Paul.
All right. Austin Powers was made for $16.5 million and earned over $67 million at the box office.
Oh, that's pretty.
Wow.
Smashing, baby. Yeah. Given this and the fact that it was released theatrically in 1997, how high do you think it ranks in the box office among the other movies released theatrically in 1997? We'll go for the top 50 according to thenumbers.com.
All right. Let's start with Nate. What is your guess?
Oh, geez. Senior year. Was there any good comedies around that time? I'll go with number 6.
Number 6? What's your guess, Chris?
I'm literally trying to think of any memorable movies that came out in 97.
When did Something About Mary come out? Wasn't that? Maybe that was later.
I don't think I've even seen that.
I'll clue you guys in that Titanic came out in 1997.
And that was number 1. So this was.
Well, I thought we're just ranking comedies, though, right? Please
No,
don't tell
it's
me
all
we're
movies.
ranking
Ranking
No,
movies.
all theatrically
All
released.
Oh, I'm
You
dead.
better lower
I'm
that,
dead then.
bro.
Jeez. No, it's
Yeah.
fine. I don't even. You know what? I don't care. Go ahead.
Don't even care. I'm gonna say it ranked around 37.
37. All right. Nice, solid guess. For me, I'm going to guess 25. And then and here watching live in chat, we have, let's see, Neko guesses 5. Baba, of course, with his 42, but maybe 4. D-Tungsten guesses 4. Ashley guesses 11. Cellcast guesses 40. And D-Tungsten guesses, 6? Oh, no, okay, you're commenting. All right, so who is closest, Paul?
Well, maybe I shouldn't tell that we get our numbers from thenumbers.com because the Cellcast Gaming got it correct with 40 exactly.
Oh, so you're saying
Good
there's
job,
some shenanigans afoot.
No, I'm just saying it might be.
Well, good job, Cellcast.
I believe.
I'm
well
close.
done.
Yes.
You were close. Yes,
Yes.
with your
If
37.
it was
you
just
were
between
close.
the 4 of us, I just want to. I'm the winner. All right.
You have the moral
just-
victory, Chris. Congratulations.
Cowan just has to establish that.
If this was that game with Bob Barker or Drew Carey,
Price is
would
right.
be- yeah.
Okay.
Whichever one had all the lawsuits.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you for those factoids, Paul. And let's see if any of them factor into our memory mind melt or subsequent roundtable discussion, which we will get into once Alice has located our target film.
Alert! Alert! Approaching target. Spoilers incoming. Establishing analysis vector.
It's Austin Powers!
In his time, he was the coolest swinger alive.
A lot's changed since 1967.
Bring on the sexy stews, man!
We're called flight attendants now.
Unfortunately, this is not his time.
Secret.
Mike Myers.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Austin Powers. International Man of Mystery. Rated PG-13.
Yes, he was international, so to speak, but were our memories multinational? Well, let's find out in our memory mind melt synopsis for Austin Powers. Yeah, baby, yeah! Dr. Evil time travels to the future, modern day, in a giant Bob's Big Boy statue. So Wayne's World Wayne is a charming but ugly 70s playboy who gets cryogenically frozen to pass the time. The bald Dr. Evil with a tiny clone holds the world ransom for $1 million, $1 billion. Austin fights and beds a bevy of secret agent thugs. I guess so. With lots of sex jokes, innuendo, and groovy, baby. Shrek and Hugh Grant's ex, who turns out to be a fembot, finally shag after getting married, and Dr. Evil makes his escape to be in the ridiculously profitable sequel. I mean, certainly some of that was right, but other parts of it were decepted. He actually won $100 billion, and there were other things that weren't quite right. But based on those memories as flawed as they were, what rating did they lead you to predict for this film before rewatching it? Classic, nostalgic, or tragic? Let's start with Chris this time. What was your prediction for Austin Powers?
I think I would have probably put nostalgic.
Nostalgic, okay. Nate, what was your prediction?
Mine was the same. I put nostalgic.
All righty. Paul, how about yours?
I predicted Team Womp would have something to say during this episode, but I also predicted that this would be nostalgic.
Goody. I actually broke out of the mold here and predicted classic. I remember. So it's funny because I remember when I first saw it, I had no interest in this movie at all when it first came out. And then, I don't know, a few years after that, maybe I was in college, I watched it and I really had fun with it. And I remember liking it since then. But I haven't seen it in a long, long time. So it'll be interesting to see if those
it didn't have any rebellious children in it. So
that's a big plus.
A
big plus, exactly.
But wait, what was all this?
Oh, behave.
If
it was rebellious adults, Paul. Anyway, based on those, dang it, and no, because that's not right.
Based on those predictions,
screw me up in my script, guys.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
I told you that's my goal every time.
And you're winning at it.
Winning.
So be interesting to see if those predictions came true. But first, let's get into our discussion of the things we liked most about Austin Powers. Let's spin up our
Best 3.
but best 2 in this case. So let's start with Nate this time. What is one thing you liked about Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery?
Well, like I said, this movie came out when I was 18, so a lot of the juvenile type humor I really latched onto. So I couldn't stop cracking up at when the whole defrosted sequence, when they were defrosting.
Oh
him,
yeah,
particularly the long duration urination. That was I don't know why.
Okay.
That just
So
I was just crying laughing when I first saw that. It was just so immature, but I was on board for it. It was I don't know.
I'm curious. And there's a
Yes.
scene similar to this in A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks, where it's a long drawn out.
Oh,
Can
yeah,
anyone
yeah.
else relate to this? I know I can.
Oh yeah.
TMI.
Oh, totally.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Like those nights that you just don't want to get up to go to the bathroom, and
Yes.
so you just kind of grin
Exactly.
and bear it. And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Just kind of half asleep doing it. Just
Yeah.
kind of like not really. You're just trying to let it flow out, but then it doesn't. So you need to give it a little bit of a kick
push
to get going. But like just
What a
enough of
turn
push
this
to,
took.
get it going a little bit, and then it like kind of stops again, and
Yeah.
then you have to give it another. It's kind of like revving a car engine.
Yeah,
just
there you
kinda
go.
Like, get it going
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah,
and
Cowan-
then it stops.
Cowan-
Get it going a little bit.
Cowan's
and then
gonna
stop.
explain the average functioning of a healthy prostate. So go
Yeah.
ahead,
So
Cowan. Why don't you?
If you want, well, Nate, if you don't mind demonstrating.
No,
I
yeah.
can point out.
No, that's no problem. Yeah.
Are you mad?
I think we might be a little mad here. But okay, that makes sense though. The juvenile humor, Nate, totally get that. Chris, was the humor something that you enjoyed, or was there something else that made your like list?
I thought for a drama, it was surprisingly funny, but
Yeah.
unlike me, and that failed joke.
Wow.
Yes, I found the humor funny. Francisco. Thanks for
Well,
that
good.
great question.
Yeah,
I thought it
I'm
was,
here for the insightful, deep questions. That's why I'm here.
Yes, yes. You should really apply for 60 Minutes.
Yeah. Charlie Rose,
I thought it was
step aside.
Yeah, for sure. I thought it was an excellent parody, especially of 60s spy films. Like if you've ever
Yes.
gone and actually seen like
Mhm.
a Sean Connery Bond, they're so terrible. They're so like the sets are so cheap. The editing and stunts and everything are just so like ridiculously vintage 60s.
Really?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
and-
60s.
yeah.
That's what
And
they
I loved all the little kind of touches where it's like this was 1997. Special effects had definitely progressed a lot, but they intentionally used a lot of 1960s style
Yes.
cheese, and like when they're driving in the car, you've got the like
Rear
projection
projection.
screen
Yes.
of the
Yes.
of the drive behind them, totally fake. Or one of my favorite ones was when what's the like the agent boss or whatever guy.
Exposition.
Basil Exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, Basil Exposition, where he's talking and like they keep fading out to an edit, like they keep editing his scene when he's like on a shared video screen with several other people.
Oh, the split screens. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the split screens, and you keep seeing like it cuts to another clip of him.
I
Like,
noticed
they did a
that-
bunch of different takes, and then like faded between
Yes.
them. And at first I was like, "What's going on?" And then I'm like, "Oh, I know what they're doing here."
Yeah.
And
Yep.
It's subtle and hilarious, and I love it.
Yeah, I noticed that with
Yeah.
the general at the beginning when he is like,
Yeah.
and get my overnight bag and all that stuff. He was very
Yeah.
clearly doing the exact same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I never noticed.
And then just calling out all the tropes of like, no, I'm gonna put them in this really slow, ridiculously slow lowering device into Shark Tank,
Yes.
and I'm gonna close the doors. And I love that his son was like calling that all out and just being like, Dad, what? I've got a gun. I could just shoot them. Why are you doing this?
We could do it together.
I just I love that so much.
Absolutely. Sort of similar in terms of a send up of old 60s spy movies. It was, and I guess it wasn't so much a send up; it was its own thing. But much like those, an opening sort of theme song that sort of gets you into the movie. I really enjoyed the opening theme song for Austin Powers. The bow down. It's totally catchy. I enjoy. Oh, go ahead, Dane.
Being a former wedding DJ, we used that on several wedding party intros.
Nice.
People really dig that. Yeah, I know people came in just doing the whole 60s dances and stuff. It was
nice.
It's quite enjoyable.
As they should.
Okay. Well, yes. So, Paul, was the music or the comedy something that made your like list, or did you just really enjoy the chest hair of Mike Myers?
All of the above, but one of the things I really enjoyed the character of Dr. Evil, but I especially liked his ineptness contrasted with his son Scott's frustration and their relationship dynamic back and forth. It was whenever they were on the screen together, it was my favorite moment. So I
definitely enjoyed that. The whole
I forgot Scott kind of was a rebellious child. So.
Yes.
Ooh, that's true.
Oh, that might tip the balance for Francisco.
That's true. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scott's complicated. I'm not sure what to make of Scott now that I think about it, because he is rebellious, but rebellious against evil, but then he had his own evil, so now I don't know what to think. I'm all confuzzled. Well, guys, let's go ahead and get into our classic makers, the things that we definitely weren't confuzzled about in terms of our love for this movie. And let's start with Paul this time. What did you love most about Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery?
I really enjoyed the physical slapstick humor. It's like when the chair was awkwardly going away after being sat upon it, or the one scene that sticks with me more than any scene throughout the years that I think back on is when he is in the hallway on that cart and trying to back up and go forward, trying to turn around on that cart, and he's stuck in the hallway.
He couldn't have gotten into that position, though.
I know, but I think of that sometimes when I go down narrow hallways.
Like, could I get a cart and back?
Yeah, can I turn it around? And then I always think of that.
Yes, because that was the most unrealistic part of this movie.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. It was, Chris. Thank you. I'm glad you agree with me on that.
Yeah.
But we're not sure dislike section yet.
likes his comedic farces grounded
in reality.
As we all do, yes.
Well, as much as this wasn't grounded in reality, the comedy of it, that was my classic maker. So you guys, the comedy was was your guys' main likes or first likes. For me, it was just the best part. I really enjoyed. There's so many laugh out loud moments in this. There were certainly some stickers and some just like, wow, that's really lame. But for the most part, I really enjoyed the comedy in this film. Lots of fun. I wasn't expecting to laugh as much as I did. On having seen this movie several times. So good job on being a comedy.
So Francisco, just to be clear, your favorite part of the comedy was the comedy.
Yes.
Okay, so some of the jokes I particularly liked were let's see, like
you're such a jerk.
A lot of
such a jerk, man.
A lot of like
you're invited onto their
keeps
podcast,
having me back,
and you're just like, no, you got no. You know what that is? You know what, Francisco? I have to apologize. That is stunning and brave runoff. That's what that is. That's the fact that we were going to record an episode tonight and we just couldn't make time. So now he's putting on the extra sass for you.
And you know what? It's my Stockholm syndrome sort of coming into the fore, guys, because I can't get enough of staying brave, even though I get all this and Paul's interruptions. I just taking all this abuse. That's okay.
Hey, Francisco, can I guess what one of your favorite scenes is?
Sure. Now I thought that bit with Tom Arnold in the bathroom was.
You show that turd who's boss.
Okay, are we just gonna keep going with it?
We can.
No. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed. Let's see what other parts. I thought it wasn't really comedic, but I thought it was so cute. How he introduced Burt Bacharach when they're on the top of the London thing, and he's just playing. I thought that was funny.
That was awesome.
And yeah, and I enjoyed, like you said, Paul, the Scott and Dr. Evil dynamic. The whole or when he said, I didn't spend 8 years in evil medical school to be called Mr.
Yeah.
Just touches like that. I really enjoy it. Is that good enough for you, Chris? Are you happy now?
I got a whole bag of waiting for you.
Wow. Well, Chris, since you want to talk, let's let you talk and tell us what your classic maker was for this film.
Yeah, I think the classic maker for me in this comedy was the comedy.
Oh my gosh!
No, it actually. I mean, obviously it is, but I think the way that it was, they didn't lean too much into like one kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh, totally.
Like Paul's talking about kind of the physical humor.
Right. That's what I enjoyed. Yeah.
But I like that. Like, to me, what stood out was in addition to obviously kind of making fun of these tropes, a lot of the just the dialogue was really funny. Like, I love that opening bit where he's like, Dr. Evil has set a trap for you over at the swingers jazz, like this.
Oh yes.
Like, and that was funny on its own, but he's like, he set a trap for you, and Austin is like, I'll be right there. And like somehow that just makes sense for the spy.
Yes.
Like from that moment, it just kind of hooks you, and they've just got like the dialogue is funny, the physical comedy is funny, and then even just and the visual humor where they're freaking like Austin Powers is naked, and they've got these objects just like perfectly timed and positioned to cover his bits, and it's just. It's a myriad of different types of humor, and I think that helps present it as a balanced meal that makes it, even if like one type of humor, like maybe you're not into the slapstick as much, but if you appreciate, funny dialogue or whatever, like it draws you in no matter what your preference.
Yeah. And one thing specifically I actually forgot to mention, which I'm curious if there'll be a name for this type of humor, but we'll call it the Swedish enlarger gag. How it just sort of kept going and going and going.
So and called a running gag.
I don't remember
okay,
that.
A running
Can you
gag.
Explain what it was enlarging.
It was enlarging a piece of anatomy of the Swedes, apparently. So I just really, I don't know, just how it kept escalating and escalating. Here's a book with how to use it.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I really enjoyed that. But let's end with Nate. What was your classic maker for Austin Powers?
I think for me it was just the writing of certain jokes in general. Like I had forgotten, some of the extent, like they didn't go sometimes for like the really easy, like they did go for slapstick at sometimes, but then they had jokes that like you were explaining, Francisco, they kind of doubled down on themselves and tripled down on themselves as far as like the Swedish and larger. Yeah. But and another one of my favorite jokes in that whole thing, because Will Ferrell had just come on the scene a couple years before, and he was really starting to like pick up steam, and then they had him play, I guess you would call it brown face for the time. Like he played Mustafa, and so that whole joke was the perfect explanation of what, like those jokes that I really like that they doubled down and try. I don't know why I like that type of comedy so much.
Yeah,
because you're a racist.
But just the fact that they could well, yeah, beside that, but like they could stop at one or two jokes, but they don't. They keep building on it and building on it. And that's just what's so funny. He's like, oh, I'm in quite a lot of pain. And then he's like, you see, I designed this thing myself. And you're just like, how sad this guy's being taken out by his own evil contraption.
Right.
And then, like, you think he gets shot, and they could have ended the joke there, and it's just so. I just
shot me in
tears
the
by the time
arm.
that's over. You shot me. You shot me right in the arm. Why did you? Boom.
Yeah.
So
and then Dr.
I
Evil's
think
like,
there was just some really clever. There were some really clever jokes, whereas a lot of comedies in the '90s, they would just stop at joke 1 or 2.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But the writers kept doubling down, and I think it just made the jokes even funnier.
And it kind of even like a lot of times the joke's just over and you move on, and you're like you're happy with the joke. But these actually almost make you like leave you wanting more.
Yes,
which
yes.
is
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
the best way to do it.
Oh,
like,
I could have had Will Ferrell going like 2 or 3 more minutes for that audio.
I was almost hoping that like, oh, you shot my other arm.
Yes,
was gonna be the joke
you shot
there.
my leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I needed that pinky toe.
I would have gladly taken it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
That's a great way to describe it, that the comedy in this left you whine more, because, that's exactly right. In fact, I forgot something else that was really, really comedic. The Cellcast. The Cellcast, hosted by Jacob and Drew as Paul talks over me.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Review. Jacob and Drew review animated movies and TV shows, discussing what they appreciate about the medium in whatever form it takes, whether it is traditional hand-drawn animated movies, claymation shorts, or 3D CGI series. Check out some animated reviews when you subscribe to the Cellcast at thecellcast.podbean.com. And don't forget, Cell is spelled with a single L at thecellcast.podbean.com.
That's great, baby. But what does the Cellcast have to do with Austin Powers?
Animation's really groovy, don't you know?
They did an animated Austin Powers?
I know they did do it. It's just animation's groovy. It's cool.
Okay.
That's the connection.
Okay.
There isn't one, Paul. All right. I have nothing. I lose, sir. Good day. Would you like some trivia? Would that help cleanse the palate of this horrible, like, just split? All right, then let's go with some trivia.
Baby.
Did you all realize that Mike Myers originally wanted Jim Carrey to play Dr. Evil, but Carrey eventually passed due to scheduling conflicts with Liar Liar, also in 1997? Myers then took the iconic role himself. Really, Bentley?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Bentley or Paul and Chris and Drew. Chris and Nate. Drew is not here. That was in the promo. Here's my trivial question for you. What actor would you have loved to seen as Austin Powers if Mike Myers couldn't have done it? So let's start with Chris.
All right. This is actually a tough one because it's especially since he plays so many characters, and as the series goes on even more, it's kind of hard to like think of who else could do it. Jim Carrey was actually the first one that came to mind for me.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's kind of funny that that he was actually in the running for it.
Yes.
He would have done a fantastic job. He's an excellent character actor, arguably better than Mike Myers. But I think that also would have really changed the flavor a lot.
Yes.
Yes. And I was trying to think of another one, but Jim Carrey was really the first one that popped into my head.
Okay, then you can just keep Jim Carrey. That's fine. It didn't say other than Jim Carrey, just not Mike Myers. And so, good job, Nate. How about you?
Dude, I wanted to clarify. You're asking. Sorry, you're asking.
Go ahead, Paul.
Who wanted to? Who would?
What actor would you have loved to have seen as Austin Powers if Mike Myers couldn't have done
even though
it?
the trivia was about Dr. Evil character, you're talking about the Mike Myers character. The Austin Powers character.
Yes.
Okay. All right, just wanted to clarify.
It's not like I was confused when I wrote this question, Paul.
Oh, well, it was a jump. Sorry. I couldn't make the leap.
You're throwing everyone for a loop, Francisco. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. It's not like the same actor played both characters. But go ahead.
I was trying to think of anybody else that could do character acting kind of around that time. and so Jim Carrey was, again, same here, the first one that came to my mind. The only other person I think that may be able to do it justice at that period in time might be like Dana Carvey or somebody
That's
who
a
can
good
do
one.
Like
Okay,
impressions or something like that.
Let's go
but
outside
we all know
of
how
this
Master
time.
of Disguise went.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Let's go outside this time. Anytime you can pull an actor into 1997. Maybe they're
Our
cryogenically
answers are
frozen.
not sufficient enough for Francisco.
Wow.
It's just like,
Really?
he's like, we are not going to proceed on this episode until you give me the answer I desire.
Yeah, basically he's slapping you on the wrist for your answer.
Same time period. Oh yeah, Eddie Murphy did live during that time period. You're right.
Right.
Okay, so somebody who, let's see, they can't be older than 20, according to
Or black.
San Francisco. There we go. According to Francisco. I don't know. Ariana Grande, are you happy now? Are you happy now? She probably would have knocked it out of the park.
She's actually more of a singer than an actress.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I would have.
You know what?
Justin Bieber, are you happy now?
There you
Are
go. He's
happy
been
now,
in
Francis?
Zoolander 2. He's an actor.
William Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
As long as we're considering the whole timeline of history, let's throw Shakespeare in there.
Well, he was obviously versatile.
Yes.
Comedies, tragedies, romance, all of the above. So I think William
Yes.
Shakespeare really could have nailed this part.
Doth I have an enlarger?
Nay, it is not mine.
Okay, all right, guys. Fine.
Your assumption is folly.
No, we can't have any Bill Murrays, no Dan Aykroyds. There's no one else that can fill this role. Fine.
No.
All right.
No.
Don't go for
Paul,
the
how about you?
classics like Jerry Lewis or Don Knotts, but okay.
Jerry Lewis, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, there you go.
He could have done it.
Very Jerry. Yes. Jerry Lewis could have knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
Is Jerry Lewis for
Dead?
Leaving
Yes.
Pretty Lady?
Yes.
That guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's
Paul.
say,
The
Francisco,
original
let's hear your
Nutty
Don
Professor.
Knotts as Austin Powers.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a groovy, baby.
There you go.
What
He
about
actually
Jimmy
did play the
Stewart?
Love God in some 60s movie.
Okay, well, Paul, will you give me your actor?
No, because the only person I
pretty
thought of at the
groovy
time was Pauly Shore, and he would have been terrible at this. So.
All right, well, this trivia.
Would you like to shag, baby? That's Jimmy Stewart. As Austin
Yes,
Powers.
I got
Welcome.
that.
Yeah,
Wiley
that was
Burp
a deleted
and-
scene from Wonderful Life.
And Austin Powers. Wow. Okay, guys. Was that great trivia, Paul? I don't know.
Yeah, that was great trivia,
I think it was great.
Francisco.
That was great trivia.
And now that we all had some trivial fun, let's find out what our memories, you, our radical rewinders, had to say about Austin Powers.
Steve Hamilton says nasty teeth and yeah, baby, every 10 seconds.
Stanley Wright says it's groovy, a goofy look if it was a comedy.
Yep. Steve Forrester says, I can't believe that with all of the hashtags you attach to this movie, you missed the obvious one. Hashtag groovy.
Well, there's so many hashtags that could belong to this movie. It's ridiculous. So LJ Lowry says, I was too young to understand most of the adult humor when it came out. One of those movies that just got funnier as I got older.
Ashley Cranbitter says, allow myself to introduce myself. One of the most memorable lines from any movie with how ridiculous it is. Yes, that's another good one.
Jeff W. Ames says, the plethora of characters and their own personalities. I love the slapstick humor. Scotty was a good character. Dr. Evil was great. When Dr. Evil asks for
$1 million
and thinks that's a huge lump of sum of money. LOL.
Drew Jojen says, I have never actually seen this movie, so why am I commenting? I don't know, Drew. Why are you?
Maybe you should ask the Cellcast.
Shut up, Drew.
And David Bobke says, you're reviewing Austin Powers? I have to tell you some of these things, okay? I've been frozen for 30 years. I recall Austin being very randy and ornery or something. I recalled not taking an elevator when there was a perfectly good canoe. I recall no inner monologue. Basically, a whole lot of quotable quotes and memorable scenes. And then in Frau Farbisna's voice, or whatever her name is, she says, "Bring on the dislikes."
Wow, you're not supposed to read in Frau Farbisina's voice, but whatever, Paul. But yes, let's spin up the things we didn't like about Austin Powers. Here's our
Worst 3.
or worst 2 again. So here we go. Let's start with Nate this time. What's one thing you didn't like about Austin Powers?
Well, this is a very trivial thing to dislike because I don't have a whole lot of dislikes with the movie, but the fact that it's in high def now, and they had a lot of close-ups on Austin's teeth, which back in the 90s. There was really no such thing as high definition. Like DVD was about as good as it got, and even then, that was kind of new technology. So watching it this time around, and I was like watching it like right in front of a computer, so my face was like a foot away from the screen.
Nice.
And it's just these high def, just disgusting teeth, and all these shots, and I was like, oh man, I totally like. Did not get the clarity back in '97 when I first watched it, so it was kind of it was almost a little nauseating at this point.
All right. Did you guys feel like his teeth weren't always that bad? Like they didn't always have implants or something? I noticed
that they made them a little nicer when he had kind of the more
wide shots
heart interactions with was it Vanessa? Is that
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vanessa.
That is
so when they're on drinking champagne on the bed and he's like explaining to her what her father was like and everything. I could tell they actually like his teeth almost look kind of normal. And I think they just did that just kind of like a psychological standpoint that people wouldn't be drawn away from the kind of the heartfelt lines that he had at that small time. So either that or it was supposed to come at like another point in the movie after he got his teeth cleaned up.
No, Nate, you're 100% correct. They had 3 sets of different teeth and in degrading order, and it's for those close-ups during the more romantic. They did that because they didn't want people nauseated. Like, oh, how could she ever kiss him with those teeth or something like that? So yeah,
gotcha.
Right. Yeah, like the most decrepit was really upsetting. They were like just these yellow, like stunted, sort of going in different directions, sort of.
Exactly.
So.
Oh
anyway,
my!
Again, a trivial dislike, but that was all I could really find.
Well, no, that's totally fair. Chris, what was something that nauseated you about this movie? Wow.
Yeah, I think it honestly it was a little hard to find anything like that I particularly didn't like about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think sometimes, while they provide that wide smattering of humor, of different kinds, some of it definitely did get a little juvenile and, stuff that maybe would have been hilarious back when I was a teenager is now a little bit like, okay, fart humor, poop humor, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I felt like they reined it in just enough to where it wasn't just like junior high level. They presented it in a way where it was still,
it wasn't the Love Guru, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
It left you wanting more.
It wasn't Ren and Stimpy. It was.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, that's fair though. But yeah, still there is some of it that was more on the juvenile side for sure. Paul, what was juvenile for you about this movie? As bad as a segue as that was.
Not too bad. There have been worse, baby. Anyway,
I've had better.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes right into what I'm about to say. This is more personal. I think I'm in the minority of this, but
a report maybe.
I don't consider myself like a very prudish person, but the sexual humor, I'm not, I enjoyed it, so I'm not that prudish, but I enjoyed it, but everyone else shouldn't. Well, that's just it. Like if I watch this with friends or family, I get too embarrassed or whatever that I can't really enjoy myself. So like if I watch it by myself or with my wife, that's great because a lot of that humor I think belongs in the bedroom. That's fine, whatever. But I'm not one of the kind of person that like elbows his neighbor and says, check this out, that kind of thing. So like when we go, like I remember going to the movies and seeing this with my parents, and there's a lot of sexual humor in there, and it's just very uncomfortable. So it's not a movie I would sit down and watch with the family or friends.
Yeah, for sure. I get that.
And that's me.
I was honestly surprised this was rated PG-13 and not R. But Chris, what were you gonna say?
Well, it didn't have any actual nudity or anything that would warrant
that's
an R
true.
rating.
Yeah.
But I was
not
just
even
gonna agree, like it's
I was about to, here we go. I was about to say not
Paul's
even
at
the
it again
of the pussy cat.
Yeah, they get away with that. Is that going to be an edit? That's going to be an edit, huh?
Well,
so
it could be.
From here,
Depends.
Sweet, lay it on.
No, I was just going to agree. Like it's a hilarious show, and I feel like I want to share it, but like I'm not really going to be able to share it with my kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Anytime soon, anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, just when they're 12. I think that's the perfect time, probably.
Yes, right when their hormones are formulating.
Exactly.
Right
exactly.
when they want it most.
Oh my gosh. No, not at all. I kid. Let's see. So for me, the thing that I didn't like, and it sort of plays into what we were talking about the teeth before a little bit. I don't really get how. I mean, back when I first saw this, I did not understand it all. Now, as I'm older, I kind of get it a little bit. How Vanessa falls for Austin Powers when he's just coming on so strong so much of the time.
It's the wine, baby.
No, but even without that, you see like when she's turned away from him, she'll have these like little grins at his. I'm not sure if it's. Oh, go ahead.
If you notice, she wasn't completely repulsed at the beginning. Like you would think, like if it was made today, like these women wouldn't stand for those kind of comments. Like punch them in the face right away. She grinned and bared it for surprisingly very long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
totally.
That helps ease into it.
To be fair, she is British, so look at her selection. It's just nothing but bad teeth. I mean, it's just So hey, women love confidence, and Austin Powers has a ton of confidence. Even if he has like a mask, kind of like where you can tell her sometimes when he really feels like vulnerable and stuff like that, but he still tries to disguise it.
Yeah. But I didn't quite. So that's essentially why I feel like I understand it a little bit more now, Nate. But I don't really get the whole point of Alada being into him. I mean, it doesn't seem like that plays into the story much. Like
there's not much story to play into here.
This isn't Hamlet over here. What?
No.
Okay. Well, fine. All right. So that's something else I didn't like. Let's get into the things we hated most about this film, though. I'm going to double back to Paul. What didn't you like about Austin Powers the most?
Basically, like I was saying, the story, and this goes back to what I kind of disagree with you guys are saying, that the humor left you wanting more. For me, I was like, I'm done. Okay. I don't need to rewatch this anytime soon. In fact, because I think a lot of the humor is a little bit over the top and there's not really much depth to the story. I think that the longer that you go without seeing this movie, the better the next rewatch is. So I'm not, that eager to rewatch it, and I think the movie suffers for that.
That makes sense. Chris, what suffers the most for this movie, for you, about this movie?
Yeah, this is a tricky one, and I'm actually going to go less personal on this, and say that I think if I step outside of myself and I just think like what could turn some people away from it, is it's really funny, kind of ironic to me that it's a movie set in the 90s that kind of highlights how much the times have changed since the 60s.
Yep.
And like, you know, how political correctness changed between the 60s and the 90s. And now looking back in the 2020s and seeing how politically incorrect it is now.
Right.
In some ways, for me, like, made it way more entertaining.
Yeah.
But I think
Oh, yeah.
I could definitely see where certain people might be really turned off. Because this movie has, okay, first of all, he's, you know, when he punches that female spy and then it's a man.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like, that's not politically correct anymore.
Yeah, that's
there's
genderism.
Definitely kind of a couple jokes. Oh, that's transphobic, is what it is.
Yeah.
And the joke. I mean, there were some punching down jokes, like the whole. I don't remember what the line was, but Scotty calls his father like a lazy-eyed something or other.
Psycho.
Yeah,
or monster.
Oh, okay.
Lazy-eyed monster. There's a blind man joke.
In the bathroom.
And, you know, and then obviously there's a lot of sexism that's, you know, kind of a nod to the 60s climate.
Yes. Yeah.
that
Well-
you could probably get away with, but it was definitely some stuff there where I'm like, you couldn't make those jokes if you were making Austin Powers today.
Right.
What's interesting
And
about
it
your
actually almost makes me want to see, like, I want to see an Austin Powers like follow up where now like someone
Yes.
from the 90s gets transported into the 2020s.
Exactly.
And has to deal with the political climate differences.
Because it'll be 30 years in 2027. So it'll be like another 30 years
exactly.
from 97. What were you trying to say, Paul?
I was about to say exactly what he was referring to. It was 30 years ago then, and this movie was 30 years ago now.
Yeah,
roughly.
pretty much.
So,
Yeah, pretty
Almost,
much.
yeah.
Which is just nuts. How time marches on. So Nate, what was the worst part about this film for you?
My tragic maker is kind of along the lines of what Paul was bringing up. Like I said, I think I was 18. I just turned 18 when the movie came out in theaters. And I don't think I actually saw it in the theater. I think I saw it at home, good old, video rental,
Same here.
with the folks.
Yeah.
So that was it's a shame because there's certain scenes that I don't think were quite necessary. I mean, I know they wanted to get certain gags in there, but like, the whole like Miss Alada's penthouse and just certain scenes that it's a shame. Like it could technically be like a really goofy, silly, kind of more geared towards family movie if they didn't have certain scenes. They could still do enough innuendo so the parents get it, and they're like, ah, ha, ha, yeah, or, But they just kind of took it that next step, where it just kind of made it really. I think it kind of really narrowed the audience that could see it that you might consider like appropriate, basically.
Yeah.
Like a little too juvenile for the older, like middle-aged folks and onwards. Too inappropriate for if you're not like in your late teens or whatever.
I agree.
And I was watching it again. I was frankly kind of surprised that, like you said, Francisco, that it got a PG-13. Or I'm just kind of like, well, they were kind of pushing but at the time, but if you compare it to other movies of the 90s, like you could have like nude scenes in PG-13. Like,
That's true.
That same year.
That's true.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well,
Titanic.
there's
Yeah, that's a good
Titanic.
point.
Yeah,
Titanic PG-13 somehow.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't know. The I think the moral of the story really is that the MPAA sucks. So I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. So that's.
Throw me a freaking bone here.
So your tragic maker is the MPAA. Okay, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
There you go.
For me, my tragic maker is actually something that Chris, I think, alluded to that he liked, but it's in this realm that we're talking about, and the visual innuendo at some towards the beginning and then mainly at the end when they're married during their honeymoon, and just all the blocking of the nudity with different melons or milk things.
It upset you that they were blocking it? They should have just
showed it? They didn't need it.
That's the director's cut.
Oh my gosh. I thought that wasn't at all necessary.
he specifically uses to spice things up in his marriage.
Oh my god.
That's what I heard.
Wow.
That's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
What he said.
Good active listening skills there, guys. No, I just thought it was a bit too much. You didn't need maybe a little bit would have been okay, but they just went too much into that. So that was
But
my
you have to
tragic
admit,
maker.
like crudeness aside, it was a pretty clever gag. Like
They timed it very well. Oh no,
planning,
yes, that is true.
I kind of want to see the behind the scenes of that, but I'm really afraid to.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I will say
that's bad. Just watch the intro to The Spy Who Shagged Me. Like they go all out in that whole musical sequence at the beginning.
I was about to say, I can tell you
covering his bits and pieces.
In the audio commentary, they explain how they were able to do it so precisely.
Oh really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they what they did is they had off-screen monitors for Elizabeth and Michael to look at.
Yeah,
so that they could.
You could tell she was trying very closely to line things up.
Yeah, but the eye line was great because it looked like she was just like talking on the phone, looking off into a distance. You know. Whatever. Yeah. So
I will say. So I watched this on high def, similar to you, Nate, like my screen right here. I was watching it. And during the scenes where Austin was naked, like walking around the penthouse or whatever, you could sort of make out sometimes whatever sort of underwear piece was holding his his stuff.
I noticed
it's like
that
sort
too.
of a black or something
totally
underwear.
Could.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Now we're going to dedicate the next 5 minutes as to why all three of us were looking that closely at Mike Myers' crotch.
Hey, he's really charming, okay?
Yeah, baby.
All right. Well,
so let's dig in. Let's figure it
No,
out.
let's not. It's time to dig into our final ratings, guys. We've entered all our trajectories into the firing computer. Alice, do you have a firing solution for us?
Firing solution complete. Rating salvo at the ready. On your mark.
Let's dig in. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, now that we have entered all our targeting info, I read that already in the mode. Darn it. That's
and
3, I think.
Coming.
I think that's only 3, though.
I think you lost count, but that's all right.
Man, I gotta step up my game.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Wow. Alrighty, guys. It's time for the moment of truth. Do we rate Austin Powers a classic? We'd recommend anyone go see this, whether or not they've seen it before. A nostalgic, it's worth your time to revisit if you've saw it as a kid or teenager or some point in the past and you haven't seen it in a while. But if you haven't seen it, don't seek it out. Maybe go watch Spy Hard or something. Or is it a tragic? We'd recommend no one watch this movie, whether or not you've seen it before. Let's start with our guests. Let's start with Chris this time. What was your final reign for Austin Powers? You predicted nostalgic. Did it stay that way or swing one way or the other?
Swing it, baby.
Swing it. It actually swung into classic for me.
Oh, wow, nice.
Honestly surprised me. But I just thought it was pretty freaking hilarious the whole way through. There wasn't there really weren't enough tragic makers to just be like, I think I would enjoy this, if I was watching it for the first time. Because it'd been so long I hardly even remembered it. And
exactly.
I was able to watch it through fresh eyes and just like, this is actually really funny. Some of it is freaking clever, and I enjoyed the heck out of it.
Nice. Very cool. Nate, you also predicted nostalgic. What did your final reign end up being?
I'm confident sticking with my nostalgic. I was also thinking should I waver into classic territory? But this would definitely be something that is like if you were there at the time or you were a certain age, you definitely appreciate the heck out of it. When you know. But I wouldn't go recommending this to, anybody like my parents' age if they hadn't seen it. Maybe my dad since he likes spy movies, but other than that, I think it's good for the people that have seen it and we can all appreciate it together.
Gotcha. Paul, you
I predicted nostalgic.
Yep.
But it was barely for me. I was not looking forward to this rewatch.
Okay.
but some things didn't age well, and but some things did. It got better. So but I'm gonna keep it right where it was, nostalgic, more positive. I'll definitely wait, like a while before seeing it again, just so that those things can appreciate. But I'm gonna keep it at nostalgic.
Okay. For me, I was very much in line with Chris here, where it was so much more enjoyable to watch this time. I think giving it the space that we had helped. And so for me, I rate Austin Powers International Man of Mystery a classic. So that means we have a draw, which means we're going to go to our Rewind Republic, the people that support us at the $5 or more level, for them to be the tiebreaker. So thank you everyone who supports us at that level. And Francisco from the future, what did they rate this movie? Oh my gosh, really?
What's going on?
What?
Wow,
I don't know about
caught
that.
me off guard.
I mean, I get, you know what, if I take a moment to think about it, I guess I kind of see how
Of
it could
course,
end up
it
that.
makes sense.
Yeah. But all right. Well, good to know.
I am shocked and amazed and surprised.
I have all the feelings. Whatever you need me to be, I'm that.
It's very brave of you. Almost stunning.
Wait, can I do different takes, like depending on what it is?
If you want,
Like,
sure.
Okay, so this is if they rated a classic.
Okay.
Yes, I knew it. I told you. The people have voted, and they are on my side.
They have,
okay,
yeah.
This is if they rated it a nostalgic. Ah, you guys all suck. You suck, all of you. You're wrong. It's a classic.
Right? Tell them, Chris.
Okay, and this one is if they rated it a tragic. I literally can't even. Your listeners are so stupid, Francisco.
That makes me angry. And when Dr. Evil gets
And anyways,
angry,
if you want to find me on my
Bigglesworth
podcast,
gets upset.
it's Stunning and Brave.
And when
Here
Mr.
with Nate.
Bigglesworth gets upset, people die!
Wow. Yeah, so if they want to go, now that you've insulted them, they should go check out StunningandBrave.net.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow. Okay, I like it. That is awesome. Thank you for recording those. That's awesome. Thank you, Chris. Okay, so we just did that.
No one's going to rate it a tragic, unfortunately, because that would have been amazing.
That would be. Now that we've okay, no, Francisco. Okay, well, that's good to know that that's the final rating, but it's time to get back to our own time. Good old 20XX.
20XX?
Comsat online. Receiving incoming transmission.
All right, guys, it feels good to be back, but we wouldn't have been able to get back to 1997 to begin with if it weren't for our amazing reflux capacitors, namely Jared Holzhauer, Deborah Powers, Brian Keane, Patrick Hicks, LJ Lowry, Chris Cowan, he's right here, Chris Owens, Geek Devotions, The Untold Podcast, James Kennison, Drew of the Cellcast, Ashley Cronenbitter, Pastor Deucin, Kennethan, Redeemed Otaku, Ryan Lingle, that's not true anymore.
Sorry, Ryan. Edna.
That's our Bobo, Josh Adams, D. Tungsten, Andy Lewis, Jeff, The Dapper Man Reviews, Tony from the Retro Days, Mr. Lost, and Daryl Hafner, in addition to 10 other awesome patrons as well.
I like there was one person randomly named Jeff.
Thank you all so much for keeping the gigawatts. We're keeping the gigawatts coming. And if you want to help us keep flying for as little as $1 a month and get bonus content for your generosity, head over to retrorewindpodcast.com/support to help us grow via Patreon, Subscribestar, or PayPal.
This stream is sponsored by PaulJPowers.com.
And while we're thanking our supporters, we also want to give a big groovy hug to our guests from the Stunning and Brave for supporting us with their thoughts about Austin Powers tonight. So I'll go in alphabetical order and start with Chris. Where can people find you online? Is there anything cool you got going on that people should know about?
Mainly just Stunning and Brave with my buddy here, Nate, at stunningandbrave.net. What?
I just said woot because I enjoy your guys' show so much. So.
Oh, no. Oh, you're so sweet.
So nice.
So sweet.
So nice.
And I mean, you can find me on the other socials. I'm on Instagram at Mad Cowan, and I post funny things that my kids say and do.
Nice.
There, so you can check me out there.
Very cool.
All right. Thanks. And Nate, where can people find you online? Is there anything cool you got going on that people should know about?
In the exact same place at studyandbrave.net.
Excellent.
Because Cowan can vouch. I'm not a social media. I'm not super active on the social media, so it really wouldn't be worth following me. I'll be completely honest. It's not an interesting guy whatsoever. So I'm fully
Totally
confident
fair.
in saying that.
But
I disagree.
he's cute.
Aw.
Oh,
That
but
is
not
true.
stunning?
Actually, I'm sorry. You know what? I take that back. I do have an OnlyFans account.
Oh, wow.
No, should I not? Okay. All right. No? Is that?
No,
all right.
that you migrated
He
to
has
Fansly
surprisingly
recently,
pretty
right?
feet.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. So this is how what's come to. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much, Chris and Nate, for being here. It's always a great, fun time when you guys can come on the podcast. And yeah, definitely, like I said, I'm a big fan of Staying Brave. Maybe that's the type of humor I enjoy. Really enjoy both these guys. No, Paul. Jeez Louise. But for
That wasn't me, that was
$500, maybe. Anyway, thank you again, guys. And a hearty thanks to those of you listening for the first time. And of course, all of you who are a part of our Rad Rewinder community. You all who watch us live every week, whether we're recording this podcast or playing retro games, are an amazing group of people helping sustain the pod. But if you are looking for ways to grow this or get involved in this, in growing this Retro Rewind endeavor, reach out to us on social media where we are at Retro Rewind Pod pretty much everywhere. Buy some of our merch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. We haven't gotten a review in a long time. So, hey, looking at you, Austin, Mrs. Kensington. Go review now. But if you can't do that, you could also become a monthly patron or simply share a favorite episode of yours of the podcast with a friend so that more people can enjoy the content of the Retro Rewind pod.
Din din. I want chicken. I want liver. Meow mix, please deliver.
You have been listening to the groovy Retro Rewind podcast at retrorewindpodcast.com/237. Our review of Austin Powers, my cousin, with me as your exo, pauljpowers.com. You can find me online and all my socials at pauljpowers.com.
Thank you for being an amazing spy and friend. Oh, wait. I was supposed to say the spy thing. I'm sorry, Paul. But thank you for another fun voyage, Paul. I have been and continue to be the captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz. Find me on Twitter at FXRetro_, especially if you need pixel art work commissioned.
And we are now part of the Culture Box Media Network.
Woot woot.
Find all the shows unpacking truth through story, comedy, and geekery at culturebox.media. And with that, Captain, we are on final approach to groovy bass, baby.
Thank you, EXO, and thank you all for listening. We pray you are more joyful now than when you first hit play. But like a Pokemon, we gotta catch you all for the start of our Merry Matrix. For the start of Merry Matrix with The Matrix Reloaded, our next episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Smashing the Matrix, baby, yeah!
Retro Rewind mission complete. Proceed to nav point Omega and return to base.
Yeah, that's about every 10 seconds. All right. So now we are going to move on to our spiritual speculation section. But if either of you or any of you need to get water, go to the restroom real quick, now is the time to do it. Wow, Paul. Oh my gosh.
I like the music.
I'll break out my harmonica again.
It's no hassle. But all I'm saying,
No, I'm
they're
fine,
gonna get
thank
away.
you.
I'm just. Which? Knock, knock. Who's that?
Are you done yet, Paul?
Let me tell you a story about a man named Even before you start. That was a preemptive shh. Just know I have a whole bag of with your name on it.
I mean, I guess, Ashley, if those sort of flubs at the end that I didn't say Edna mode for were Edna modes, then yes, you win. But...
Speaking of beans, we didn't do the beans last episode.
Oh, wait. So hold on. So this is hard because I guess
it's a draw, so you have to take it. You have to eat the bean. You didn't predict draw.
But it could still be a disputed classic if the patrons
but
do.
Not by the end of now. We're talking about now.
Fine, go back to then. All right, here we go.
Cancer. Why not? Because we missed it.
And if you end up vindicated afterwards, you can puke it up.
Yep. There you go.
Wow. All right, so this is either, I think, booger or lime, maybe? I'm not sure.
Joe Biden's underpants.
Musty.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
Is it booger?
It's like a gritty, dirty one, too.
Ew.
Those are the worst boogers. As a booger connoisseur.
I like it when they're not too wet, but they have a little bit of tang, but not too much.
The best are when they're like kind of a crusty outside.
Can we stop
like
the?
The gooey center. Yes. Just like
bubble
those
yum.
beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. No, not at all. All right, there. You happy, Paul? A little lay on the soundboard, Paul.
Yeah, it's not working.
Oh no. All right.
There it goes.
So, Nate, you said you had a spiritual speculation. I have one kind of more speculation, less spiritual. But
What do you mean?
Chris, did you say you had one or no?
I did not.
Oh, and Paul, did you have one?
No, not unless we're talking about shagging to populate the earth.
Whoa, I guess we could. Let's see how we would do with me and Nate's topics first before you.
We could actually have a conversation about, shagging and purity culture and
we could. Sure, if you want to.
Are purity rings?
If it comes to that.
Are purity rings making a comeback?
Are they?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
We're so out of touch, or at least I am.
Okay, so let me
If
get
they are
started
back,
here.
they aren't working.
That's true.
All right, get out of my teeth. Disgusting green. Okay. Welcome.
Give you some time to gargle some mouthwash or something.
I have water.
Okay.
No time like the present. We gotta go. Go. Welcome, Reflex the Pastors, to would you stop interrupting me?
Okay.
Welcome, Reflex the Pastors, to another installment of Spiritual Speculation, where we take a look at the spiritual themes that the movies and games we discussed on the podcast prompt us to think about. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the spiritual, quote-unquote, topics from Austin Powers, which we covered on retrorewindpodcast.com/237. So if you haven't listened to the full review, you can go do that, and probably some of the humor from there will cross over to here, but you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. But before we get started, let's go around and say who we are, what our religious background was growing up, and what we currently believe faith-wise these days. So my name is Francisco. I was raised Presbyterian, which is a denominational Protestant Christian religion, and I'm currently a non-denominational Protestant Christian. Chris.
I was raised in Calvary Chapel, which is a non-denominational Protestant denomination.
I was going to say, I don't remember. I thought that it was a denomination. No?
It's officially not. It's an association.
Oh. Okay.
But it's basically a
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't realize that.
But yeah, and now I am I am extremely non-denominational.
Did
To
you
the
leave the cowboy
extreme.
behind? Is that
To
what
the
you mean?
extreme.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
No horses for Chris. All right. Nate?
I was raised Presbyterian Christian, and now I am non-denominational Christian.
and
Awesome.
apostate.
And yes, of course.
And
Don't
Paul.
listen to a word this man says.
I won't.
Quite interestingly enough, I was a swinging hipster from the 60s, but I was cryogenically frozen, and my life flashed before my eyes, and I gave my life to the Lord, and now I've been thawed to destroy the works of the devil, the evil one.
That's quite the change. That's almost like a road to Damascus change right there.
Well, we all have a conversion story, at least somewhat.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well,
I'm not alone in that.
Given that, let's talk about. You mentioned cryogenic freezing, Paul. That actually made me think or ponder a little bit from this movie about. Do you guys think that if cryogenically freezing someone was possible, that would be considered a death, and then them coming back to like them being undoing the process would be a type of resurrection? Or do you think that doesn't count? What are your thoughts on that?
I believe all things are possible through Christ who gives me strength.
That's great, Paul. Thank you. You win the Bible answer, but go ahead, Chris.
I think it could qualify as at least a medical death in the same way that someone's heart not beating, and then the defibrillator being used is in some ways resurrection.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think it definitely could be considered in some ways a resurrection, but at the same time, cryogenic is it only works if they're not actually dead before they're frozen.
I was going to say.
Oh, good
tissue
point.
You cannot
Yes.
reanimate, even if you unthaw it. It's not. They're still alive. Just their heart is slowed down to, well, in theory, like a ridiculously slow rate. And yeah.
Wait,
so
they're not
all fiction unless Disney actually.
No. Chris, you were here for Encino Man. They unthawed Brendan Fraser. He was fine.
Oh, dang it! You're right. Yeah, that's a good point. You got me there.
Catching baby.
But okay, so like for the movie Breakthrough, which is based on a true story, where the kid was under the ice, so his heart didn't stop. What you're saying is like slowly beat it at like 1 per hour or something like that.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that movie.
All right.
Come on, you're supposed to be.
Wait, which movie did you say?
Breakthrough, where the kid fell through the ice.
Oh yeah. I didn't. No, that was the hand of God, Paul. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to speak about miracles.
No,
I don't
you
know.
Okay, I thought that's what we were talking about, because it would take one for this to work.
Scientifically explain Lazarus right now.
Scientifically explain Lazarus. Okay. It was really cold in his tomb. I don't know. Jesus just put a space heater in there.
Come on, we brought you in as a resident cryogenics expert.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry to drop the ball on this. I was doing some reading on it. Probably not as much as I should have.
Wait.
I'm sorry I let the group down.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I heard you could become an expert at anything over the weekend thanks to the internet. Is that you had other things to do?
Yeah, no, I look, I spent 2 hours yesterday watching Demolition Man, and I would hate to think that it was for nothing. Okay.
Here, Nate, let me give you an assist here. So with the Lazarus, they go down into this like green liquid, and that it restores their life. It's in the pit. And they go down, the characters.
Oh.
That's Batman, not Jesus, friend.
No, it's called the Lazarus pit.
Yes, but
is that what we're
those are
talking
two
about?
different Lazaruses.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I thought Batman was in the Bible. Now I'm all distraught.
No, what you're talking about is the when they're cryogenically frozen. Is it like I think you have to talk to God. Did their soul actually go up to heaven and then they wait and then he's like, okay, I need to send you back down to earth? Or is the soul still in the body, kind of like a soul sleep? Or Is this a zombie coming back
just
to life?
asleep. You're essentially in a medically induced coma for
so then you don't
that's the
die.
theory. Again, it has not been done. If you are in a block of ice, that by logic that means that your body has to have also reached that temperature. Otherwise, you are melting the ice.
Right.
And people's blood cannot withstand freezing temperatures if they are literally below frozen.
I
told you he's an
I will say it has not been done on purpose. Thanks to Encino Man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Thanks to.
Well, you unbelievers can laugh, but Disney is coming back.
Yeah.
He's gonna step out of his
or at least his head is.
chamber. Yeah.
Why was he done? So I've heard that Walt Disney did have that procedure done, but anyone know why he did?
Yeah, for internet lore. It's not
true. It's totally made up.
Yeah. It's because the internet exists.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess I fell for it. Thanks a lot, Snopes. I knew I shouldn't have trusted you.
What you're not accounting for? What if we cryogenically froze someone?
Right.
And then when we woke them up, we replaced all their blood with fresh, warm blood.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Then
I just feel bad for Francisco. He was really hoping to visit the Walt Disney Museum and just see the severed head in a cooler. Just like, there it is. There it is.
I paid $20 for this, and I didn't get to see Disney's cryogenic body.
Some teen gets paid minimum wage to open up an igloo cooler and just show you a glance and then close it again. Just
Next, you'll tell me Mr. Freeze wasn't real.
Sir, we need more ice. Run to Rayleigh's.
Yeah.
My gosh. Wow. All right, I can see what you guys are saying about that. It's not cryogenics isn't a type of true death and resurrection because I thought you were literally frozen completely, and then they're able to unthaw you. But
based on fringe science, not actual science, which we know
I never saw Fringe,
that was
Paul.
Francisco's whole retirement plan. You just completely demolished all his hopes and dreams.
What have I been saving for, guys? Jeez.
I've been paying this company money for years. Found them through Craigslist. They seemed legit.
It was a German company called Auto Pops.
It was actually Swedish. It's the same place I got my enlarger.
Partner company, yeah. It was a 2-for-1 special.
Oh, okay. Let's get off this train before it crashes into the Lazarus pit
part of you and
comes back. Wow.
Oh my gosh. Who just wrote Icy Wiener? That was a fantastic nod to Futurama. Thank you so much.
My gosh. That was D. Tungsten. Nate, do you have anything that watching this movie prompted you to think about, spiritually speaking?
I didn't exactly like hone it down into a concise question.
That's fine.
But it's kind of off of what Chris was saying on one of his observations about how, you have somebody like Austin Powers that, was just totally free spirit, and then really had to rein it in 30 years later when he, when like kind of society and social norms and everything had changed. Mm-hmm. So it's almost kind of like he had to let go of that hedonistic nature of just, whatever you feel like,
almost,
whenever,
but not
it's all
quite.
good. It's all
thanks to a lot of
it's all peace. And, well, yes. I mean, let's just say he struggled.
Okay.
It
wasn't as
near
free.
Near the end, you can make an argument. He decided to be monogamous. He decided to get married. He was kind of heading more in that direction. And the more I was like reflecting on it, I was like, shoot, like 25 years later, it's almost like society has kind of gone back to embracing a lot of the hedonism of the 60s and just kind of doing what you think is your truth, what feels good, And so it just seems like there was a shift from the 60s to the 70s the 60s to the 90s. And then we were kind of headed somewhere with like some discretion as a society and all that other stuff. But it's kind of just done a complete 180 from any sort of progress we made in that decade. And I don't even know when it started to turn. And I don't know I mean, again, it's a very open-ended question as far as what happened. Like that's very.
I don't know if it was that strong in the 90s anyway, from what I remember.
Well, but there are definitely some, like, in terms of like monogamy was solid virtue of the 90s, whereas now we have a pretty strong polyamory movement.
Yeah. For sure. So Nate, when you're bringing this up, and what aspects of that were you most compelled by? Just the
think
thought
all
that,
the shagging.
No, I just like
definitely the shagging.
No, it was I don't know. It was almost kind of just depressing. Like it was more of an observation, and I hadn't even formulated a real concise question in my head. But it was kind of one of those things where it's like I just think culturally it ebbs and flows.
Yes,
based on
it's
just
cyclical.
What is
for
considered what is considered social norms, what is considered acceptable, and it requires a whole movement to kind of say, no, this is excess. This is we should exercise some self-restraint. We should exercise some prudence, and we can't, otherwise we're just gonna, it's just gonna be like Sodom and Gomorrah. Pretty much for as long until destruction comes. So, So I don't know. I don't really. I mean, I didn't really have like a earth-shattering, question or
just an
observation.
observation.
I just
it
was just kind of a depressing observation, and I just thought there was an interesting contrast, like Chris was saying about how he saw the moral base in the 90s and kind of what the expectations were, and he was willing to be better in that regard, and so it's almost like it takes somebody like Vanessa to say, well, no, you have to show self-restraint, you have to do this, and it just seems like there's not a lot of people willing to step out nowadays and just say straight up, because we feel like we're gonna get attacked for it. Like if we if we say people should show some self-restraint, if people should try to exercise self-control just for for their own sake. So
exactly,
it is kind of it is a good picture of the ebb and flow of like what is socially acceptable and what isn't. And I think it's vanity. It's a vanity that every time period has, which is, well, we are more enlightened and more progressed morally and ethically than all time periods behind us. And you know what? Every single time period in the past would say the same thing. If they could look at us now, they would be like, wow, look how depraved they are. We are so much more enlightened than those people in the 2020s are now. And it's total vanity, but it's some kind of weird, like, human nature to think that, well, whatever is the norm in my particular time period and in my particular culture is the correct way. And to me, it highlights the importance of having something that withstands the test of time,
absolutely,
and remains more solid and more steady at its core than just the shifting tides of culture. And there's that verse that I believe it's Paul that uses, where it's that imagery of, not you, Paul, you don't
know, the other Paul,
but the Apostle Paul uses, where it's like, if you don't have something grounding you, you'll be like a man on a raft at sea, just being tossed every which way by every wave of doctrine, I think is the word that was used. But it's really doctrine is something that isn't exclusive to religion. It's something that our culture has doctrines, and many of those are dogmatic in nature. And like can't be questioned. And if we don't have something grounding us, then we'll just be tossed every which way by every wave of cultural movement.
Okay, you might be talking about Ephesians 4:14. He says, "Then we'll be no longer infants, tossed about by the waves, carried around by every wind of teaching, and by the clever cunning of men in their deceitful ways." That's what you're talking about? Yeah.
I think that's the one. Yeah, that sounds right.
Good job, Paul.
Good job actually using the Bible.
We do that occasionally. apparently
if
it's
you
something
want
that
to
doesn't.
reinforce your point.
You know, if you're looking for, I don't know, something solid that grounds you.
Right,
in
if
the
you're
midst
looking
of
for
everyday
truth.
doctrine. Yeah.
Exactly. It's interesting that you brought up this dynamic with Austin and him becoming more, I guess, more grounded or more monogamous in the 90s when he's with Vanessa, and I just thought that was, I thought that was a good example that someone even like him who was just so hedonistic could be, could find. Well, I mean, honestly, he found romance. He found this love, I guess, of his life, who actually turned out not to be the case in the sequel. But neither here nor there. In the case of this movie, she was. What?
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers, exactly. In this movie, he was. And I thought that was, I mean, I feel like that's can be a reflection of how when we see God and Jesus' love for us, we sort of we love him back, and there is this like we want to be better. We want to, even though we're not saved by works, there is works that we want to do because we're going to step into the works that God prepared for us to do even before we were created. So I think there is some element to love and wanting to love someone else and do things that are pleasing to them. Does that make sense? Am I just
rotten, baby. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was important to Vanessa, and she was important to him.
Yeah.
And he was willing to reconsider his lifestyle for her because he was genuinely finding love. And that's actually the more I think about it, I was like, because at first when I saw the second one, and look, spoiler alert for everybody, they basically write Elizabeth Hurley off of the movie, a couple minutes in.
And bravo to her for
fembot,
coming back
out.
for that.
Yeah,
no kidding.
For sure.
But they write her off, and I remember seeing the movie for the second one for the first time, and I was thinking, why did they do that? And the reason now that we've had kind of more of discussion about it, I think, is they had to find a reason for Austin to go back to the hedonistic womanizer that everybody fell in love with in the first movie. And you can't have him trying to make a serious relationship work and have that type of comedy anymore in the second one unless they off his wife and just make it seem like she was a horrible person. And then like instantly, and that's what makes it so funny, is that instantly he's like reflecting, he's like, she died. And he's like, that means I'm single. And he's like, yeah, baby. And then he instantly goes back to his swinging party lifestyle. And it's just it's a major paradigm shift like instantly. So yeah.
It's funny because there's certain characters in movies where every time they make a sequel, if in the first movie that character undergoes a
dramatic change,
too dramatic of a character change during the movie, they have to find a way to reset that person. And they did that in Toy Story, like with Buzz Lightyear is the one that stands out for me because in Toy Story 1 he goes from thinking he's a spaceman to realizing he's a toy, which is a huge dramatic character shift. So they had to bring that back in all the sequels. In the second one, they introduced the other Buzz Lightyear toy with the anti-gravity belt. In the third one, they press the reset button,
right?
And he's Spanish,
and then they have Spanish Buzz.
Yeah, love it.
And then in the fourth one, they kind of cheat it a little bit with the whole inner voice thing.
Yeah.
There you go. That's your devotional.
There you have it.
I hope,
Indeed.
I hope you really found a way to apply that to your lives. And I hope that's something you can take back to you as you go along this week.
Absolutely, yeah.
My world's been changed, that's for sure.
Well, I appreciate that you guys took the time, all of you, to be a part of this spiritual speculation. Any last thoughts that came to mind that you want to get out there before we wrap?
No.
Wait, Francisco's going to wrap?
Yes.
This has been
I've been
Austin
waiting
Powers
for this for
here
so
with
long.
the Retro Rewind.
That was great.
Wow.
You did really, You did a good job.
Do I get a participation trophy?
Smashing baby.
All right. Time to twist the knife, Paul. All right. Well, thank you
I'll
so.
just get you a lanyard.
That's great.
Right.
Thank you so much, you guys, for joining, for giving everyone your thoughts and insights. And Paul for bringing up the Bible, always awesome. I really appreciate each one of you, and thank you all for supporting this content. I really appreciate that. And for me, for Paul, for Chris, and for Nate, we bid you all shalom.
That means peace.
That was really loud for some reason, but okay.
Sorry.
It means peace indeed. No, it's fine. All right, guys. So I'm going to end the stream. Hopefully download each. So we're testing something where I hopefully will be able to download the audio tracks just from Restream, this thing we're using.
But we can stop recording on our end?
You can stop recording on your end.
Okay. Fine.
Don't lose that file. I'm not going to ask for it tonight, but save it somewhere at least until I say.
Great. Don't know.
At least until I say I don't need these anymore, so you can delete them.
Just don't send it to you tonight, but
don't worry about saying
delete it
tonight.
either.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait for further instructions.
Yes.
Great.
Yes, I'm glad we're clear.
I miss WeTransfer when you had like 2 weeks to download
it. But thank you all so much. Thank you, Chris and Nate, for making the time for this. Always.
So glad to have you guys back.
Always fun. Always.
Of course. And good job figuring out the audio and the mic situation, Chris.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes.
And thank you. Let's see. We have tons of people here. D. Tungsten.
We didn't scare him
Neko,
away. Good job.
Ashley. Let's see. It may just be those guys. I saw you guys going back and forth for quite a bit of this. Baba might be still.
Look at these 4 people.
Bite me, Paul. Jeez Louise.
There's your bite me meter.
Oh my gosh. But thank you all so much for hanging out and being a part of this. Always fun. But that's going to be it. So if you guys can join me in a stream face or just make a silly face at the end, that'd be great as I end stream. So here is your stream face.
Is it getting closer?
You're not supposed to talk, Paul.
Why not? You can't
Of
stop.
course, you're not
You gotta
supposed
end
to.
it. End it.